Hey everyone, and welcome to the video. First off, I'd like to thank the Naraka team for giving me the opportunity to make this video, and for all the other amazing work they do with the game and community. It's truly the best community I've ever been a part of, and by far my favorite game to date. And so, for this video, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at some of the games of RoyHiHi from the solos qualification rounds. RoyHiHi being VNGC's solo player representing the VN region at this year's world stage. Now, as you probably know, Roy, I think I'm going to call him Roy from now on, since it's a little bit easier. But Roy did in fact qualify for the finals, so let's jump right in and take a look at this footage and see if we can break it down. And here we are, game 4. So he's opted to play his second game with Takeda, meaning that for game 5 and 6 he's going to have to play unique characters. It's looking like he's what's he gonna do here? So I think he's gonna opt for the Celeste respawn again. So you can see he's hovering over it. He's just trying to threaten this over here. Don't think he's going to commit to it, but yeah. Takeda, especially with it being a Firefly map, definitely very strong. Takeda without ultimate isn't as strong, but with, he's a force to be reckoned with. Alright, here. Yep, he swaps at the last second. Alright, let's skip ahead a little bit. So yeah, right here, it seems as though this is just one of his favorite spawns, because he does seem to take pretty much exactly the same pathing that he did in the first game. Going for that, going from his initial spawn to the bridge and the attic compartments with the high tier trove spawn, going for the Firefly, but instead of going over to the money place as it's usually called, he goes over here, grabs this bounty, as he knows that some players spawned over in this direction. He's opting to grab the bounty and head on over here as soon as he can. He doesn't have the blue armor. He does have blue weapons, sorry. Not the worst spot to be, well, it's not the best spot, but yeah, it looks like he's deliberately delaying so that he can potentially try and find that purple, or that blue weapon, or blue armor. Jesus! Holy moly, I can't speak. That blue armor, you know? But yeah, well, he doesn't manage to find it and is heading over to his bounty. Try and eventually find himself a fight with his ultimate almost up. He spots the player zipping on their own, it seems, looking to make chase. Swapping out the range resists for an attack jade. Aggressive. As we've been able to see, Roy is definitely a very aggressive player. Oh, finds himself a Naraka. Forces out the F1 instead of pushing it. Pushing the advantage that he got for himself, having forced out the F, he chooses to back off a little bit because of the other players close by. Alright, just get the blue focus. Oh, gets a huge chunk of damage. Uses his F to no avail, but still. No, no. Purple spear. Oh. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Insanely tight. Holy moly. Right. Insanely tight. Let's quickly go over that again. Gets the advantage, goes for the F. Enemy Taka does a good job of predicting that he would F, double tap dodging back, avoiding it. Forced to pop his ultimate. Taka forced to pop ultimate as well. Roy not having the stamina and not going for the blue focus hold into half charge or tap dodge to avoid the punch. But enemy Taka overuses his stamina, resulting in him not being able to punch to finish off the Takeda and actually gets severely punished for it. Yeah. We got a third party zipping, the bounty in fact. Ooh, he gets a huge Dragon Slayer onto him, forcing out the ultimate. Very nicely done, good movement here. Huge rubber band though, not great for him. Very nicely done here though. Rubber banded, unfortunate. Right, so quickly, I just want to go through this because this is very nicely done, very nicely played. So obviously he gets the Dragon Slayer. It's hit once, avoids the tech chase, gets rubber banded, goes into the F, gets the slam, immediately backs out. This is good. Very good. I mean, he's trying to swap the focus from himself to the zipping. But because there's other players as well, he's still being focused. So he sees this other player here. Doesn't have much stamina, has no armor, has about 2/3 of his health left. He knows that this Tark is going to chase him. So what does he do? He heads over to the fight. He heads over to the zipping and the Tarka to try and put them between him and the Tarka that's currently chasing him. Trying to use positioning and use the other players as a wall, as a body block. Gets closer towards them, tries to apply pressure to assert some kind of when I talk about this, I talk about it as sort of asserting dominance, or asserting like as asserting alpha energy. You know, he heads on over, goes for the attack when he doesn't really have any intention of committing to the fight or doing all that much with it. He's simply doing it to assert this kind of energy and to try and portray himself as less of a weaker target, to portray himself as somebody who's in a stronger position when in fact he's in a very weak position. Like, he has no armor, he has 2/3 of his health, he has no ultimate up yet, but he's trying to portray himself to be in a stronger position here. Something that you have to do a lot when you're in these kind of positions. I mean, even though the other players know that he's not in a good position, simply the act of him doing this immediately registers that with a lot of people surrounding you to try, and it's a deterrent. Even if it's subconsciously, it's still a deterrent a lot of the time. But because it's zipping, and because this is Takeda, and because for some strange reason, after having done that, he doesn't immediately go over the wall. He chooses to try and heal with all of these people around him. That was a mistake by far. That was a huge mistake. He should have tried to keep running, tried to drop down here, break line of sight, and then grapple away, and then potentially heal. But no, he gets greedy and goes for the heal in their face. He gets chased, gets RMB'd, the whole dodge, RMB. Getting rubber banded in the process. And that's about it. He did very well to turn that fight on the Tarka initially earlier, getting that kill for himself. He did well on running away from the zipping, and he did well on trying to switch the focus on himself, but then he got greedy and healed in their face. I mean, it's possible that even if he hadn't done that, and if he had tried the break line of sight and gone over the small cliff, tried to grapple away, he could have still gotten grappled out or chased, but it would have been a better option than try to heal in their face. Yeah, we can see here he's opting to spawn over here in Sunwing, seeing that there's a gold trove, some loot to be had. Even though he heard the bell being rung close by, it's not too bad, especially considering he has ultimate available. Pretty good spot to spawn in. Sunwing as well. You can definitely run for a while if you need to. As long as you're in this little area. Opting to spend some money, get some resources. He's probably gonna head on out and try and find some fights here. Having come out of Sunwing, spots a Taka in the distance, a fireable Taka at that. And he's going aggressive. Seeing that it's fireable Taka, this is, quite frankly, I mean, I don't want to say easy pickings, but it's easier pickings for a Takeda. You know, like it's much easier to take down a fireable Taka as Takeda than it is an F1 Taka. Spots him with the grapple. Tap dodges too early. I think I remember seeing this from Dao's perspective, actually. Dao currently not having ultimate. He's trying to avoid the fight entirely, but Roy, with his ultimate available, is looking to force this fight. Spins the soul break round. Gets hit by the blue focus. Dao managing to tap dodge the F3. Nicely done. Avoiding all of this damage. Trying to buy himself some time for his ultimate to recharge. But Roy getting a bit impatient here, as we've seen him do many times. Goes for this release. Forced to pop his ultimate. Damn. And there we have it. The reason why Fireball Taka does not do all that well into Takeda. What is Taka supposed to do in that scenario, realistically? He got him very low, but even then, and it wasn't even that Roy did something like a fancy combo, manages to get the LMB into uppercut, into ultimate F activation, get the extra damage F, keeps him in the air, does a blue focus underneath him, catches him, etc. He literally just mashed 1, 2, 3s and normal blue focuses. It's kind of all you have to do on Takeda. You don't need to do all the fancy stuff. Although the fancy stuff is slightly more optimal, if you can do it, you don't need to. So with Taka having nothing at his disposal, with Fireball not having ultimate, he's just dead. It is what it is. He's gonna head on over here, grab some more resources potentially. He's got himself 5k, decent. Let's see. Right. Wandering over here, looking to pick up this Morris blessing for himself. Get himself some purple armor and purple weapon. Going for the blue focus hold into cancel, baiting the parry, preventing the engage. Changing his focus back to this Morris. Gets the blue focus clank. Gets tech chase down, caught on his tap dodge. Grabs the armor swap. Forced to back off a bit because of the other Taka as well. Grappled out the tree, swaps to katana. Still getting grappled, getting shot from both angles. Beautiful tap dodge there though, that was very nicely done. Avoiding that soul break at the last possible second. Still getting chased down though. Gets the blue focus release. Deters the push from that Taka, but this other one's knows that Takeda's in his ultimate. He can't really do all that much. He's just gonna get poked down over and over again. His ultimate's about to expire. Is Roy gonna go for the Firefly? I think he is. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. He's going for this Firefly that spawns here. Oh. No, he just doesn't. He doesn't even check. There's another one as well that's right next to where that one spawns. Oh, Roy, you need to learn your Firefly spawns, my guy. At least check them, bro. At least. It's the grapple combo. Naraka uses his ult to break out of it. Ooh, narrowly avoiding the RMB, or the CRMB, sorry. Breaks line of sight, gets the grapple off. Doesn't go for the scale rush. Goes for it now. Gets an LMB. Gets caught. Clank. Forced to use his F. That's a gold spear on that Taka. That did an absurd amount of damage. Oh, Taka misses his grapple. Oh. Oh no. No, you cannot be going for these, bro. Oh my god, no way he does this. Oh my god. Okay. This, quite frankly, was ridiculous. He never should get away with this. He has ultimate. I'm not sure if he didn't realize whether he had ultimate or not, or if he expected the target to break out of it, so he didn't bother doing the combo. I think it was probably the first. Or I mean, maybe not, because he does use the ult afterwards, but the Taka's already used ult. Goes for the RMB into ult blade. Taka's grapple bugs. Taka tries to dodge the blue focus, but Roy does a good job of holding it. But the thing is, the Taka could have literally gone for a punch here. If he'd gone for a punch, the moment he got even if he got a little bit closer, one, he would have dodged the blade and punched through the blue focus, killing Roy. But the Taka, it's possible that the Taka hasn't played all that much Taka recently. I feel like a lot of players are playing characters that they're still not like super comfortable on because of the hero point requirement. But still, he gets this blue focus. This follow-up blue focus is absurd. Doing this is death. As you can see here, he gets punched for it. But the enemy Taka has a bow out for some reason. Oh god. Scale rush hits. Gets a blade into blue focus again. I mean, holy moly. Not gonna lie. He got insanely lucky here. He did get very lucky, but good players do tend to get luckier than not so good players. Like, he is a very good player, Roy, 100%, but he's making lots of mistakes. I'm not sure if it's due to just overconfidence or over-aggression, attempting to do things that people wouldn't expect him to do, but I don't know. I genuinely couldn't tell you, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it looks like he's just gonna end up chilling here for a little bit. And that's exactly what he does. He does end up chilling for quite a while, in fact. Ends up sitting in this bush for quite a few minutes. Gets spotted out by this bell. Tries to push out a little bit, get inside this building, sit on the ceiling. People all around him. Look at him, he's gonna get aggressive here, bro. Yep. Gets aggressive. Gets the scale rush into full combo because the Taka jumped. Forces the Taka's ult. And gets infinited. He should have instantly ulted. Even if you don't use the blades, it's better to have ulted as Takeda than to not have used it and die because of it. But, I mean, not sure if it's of any consolation to Roy that Taka did end up dying immediately afterwards. But yeah, anyway, on to game 5. Right, so here we have it, game 5. Yet another Horror Earth game, the second out of the 6 games series. And it looks like everyone's spawning Plume. 5th game of the series, people are a little bit desperate, trying to get those points that they need to qualify, or to do sufficiently well by their standards on the day. People are getting more aggressive, it seems. A lot less people spawning in the outskirts, looking to spawn in Plume, but we're going to see here, he spawned here. Let's see, did he swap? He swaps at the last second, but spawning literally on top of somebody else who's also swapped. Manages to swap again at the very last second, avoiding the 50-50 spawn. So, not too bad, but yeah. Opting to go for zipping. Definitely a good choice for Holoroth. Lots of open space, as we spoke about earlier. But yeah, let's see how it goes. So here, he spawned in, grabbed himself a weapon, didn't get an armor, and opts to leave Holoroth, potentially momentarily. He could go back if he finds something decent, but it looks like he's stepped out, avoiding any early fights without decent armor. Oh, but there we have it, purple armor. Does he go back? Yep, he's going back, yeah. Not surprising, grabbing yourself a purple armor this early on, as zipping with blue weapons and a decent chunk of grapples, you are chilling. This is an insanely good spot to be in, so let's see what happens here. Ringing the bells. Looks like they've all been rung already. Finds one. Spots 2 players. Opts to go for the Tarka. Tarka gets a pistol shot on him on the grapple over. Doesn't manage to follow up his... Gets a beautiful crouch parry here. Tarka already happens to have ult. It seems as though he's already gotten a kill and picked up a soul bloom. Having done damage and charged up his ult, because there's no fireflies at this point in the game. He manages to force it out. Takes the reset, as chasing a Tarka not only is risky, but rather difficult at this point in the game. Oh, he actually walked right past him. I'm not sure if you caught that. But right here you can see him sitting there. No way. He's just sitting there. He's literally looking at him, but he doesn't see him. That's insane. I mean, it's like, I almost missed it. But still, yeah. Unlucky he missed him there. That probably would have been a free kill, considering it was the same Tarka, or I'd imagine it was. And him having used his ultimate already. But yeah. Need to try and find some other people. Releases the first charge off the grapple, gets rubber banded on the F. Probably should have used his own F. Oh my god, the damage! And he just gets one shot. Was that a gold dagger? I'm pretty sure it was. Press J. Come on, press J for me, please. Yep, I knew it. Yep. So Huangfly, I think it was Huangfly, must have done the puzzle on grief platform, as I like to call it, and got himself the early gold weapon and purple armor and rotated up. Damn, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, there's not much to be said there. He gets rubber banded on the F tap dodge. It could have been a hold dodge and he could have been caught, but still. Unfortunate. Probably should have used his F regardless. And then pretty much just gets one shot by the 1-2. Doesn't get staggered by the 1-2 light, then gets... So he's still taking damage, but not staggered. And then just eats the 1-2-3, the blue focus, and gets one shot. And then sent off the side of the building into a bow shot to finish him off. Really not what you want. Very, very unlucky. Running into somebody with gold armor. Oh, not gold armor, gold weapon. That early on. is rather unfortunate. That's one thing that I have to say I'm not a huge fan of when it comes to Immortal War. I like, one of the great things that I did love about, I have loved, and I still do love about Immortal War, is that you can't find these gold weapons and gold armors by just looting troves and that sort of thing. You have to do certain things. And before the most recent patches, including Holoroth as a map, you could only get them by doing stashes, opening stashes, and then getting them out of Morris Blessings. But now, not only can you get gold weapon, and potentially gold armor or even red armor out of the puzzle on Holoroth, Grief platform, but you can also get gold weapon, gold soul jade, or good purple soul jades out of Realms of Yang. Something that, quite frankly, dictates the meta at the moment. Which, yeah. You can get one shot extremely quickly if you happen to have not been very fortunate to get like melee resist or good armor early on, or happen to be playing a character that can prolong the fight long enough, or to potentially make it so that you outlast your opponent regardless of the amount of damage that you can do. You take less risks because of it. But there are times where you just simply can't avoid it. You can't avoid fighting somebody who has this insanely good loot, insanely good weapon, gold weapon, with good soul jades, with purple armor, gold armor, red armor potentially from the puzzle. And then at the same time, if they've gone to the Realm of Yang, if they've won, they also potentially get this this buff, the Vermilion Phoenix buff, I think it's called. I can never remember the name, I'm afraid. Allowing you to die without actually dying, and getting a res. So imagine you're running around with blue armor. You've got maybe only a couple soul jade slots open. You've got maybe one of each: attack, health, melee resist, and then maybe another health, or maybe another attack, maybe another range, maybe even another melee resist. It's not really gonna do all that much. If you've got blue armor, you've got only that much melee resist, and you're running into somebody who has purple armor, a gold weapon, some decent soul jades, and a buff. That means if they die, they don't actually die, or a buff that gives them essentially what is a UAV, or a revealing aura around them, allowing them to track people within a 100-meter radius. That also gives them a defense bonus. It's really, really hard, you know? And although that I like the idea of the Realm of Yang creating these 1v1 scenarios, which are very rewarding, promoting fighting in the games, I do think that they could probably be toned down a little bit in Immortal War. I mean, in normal ranked, in normal Morris Trial, you only get purple weapons and purple armor out of them. Meaning that it's still good trade. It's still a good reward, but it's not gold. You know, like, although the increase isn't massive, it can mean life or death when you have blue armor and very little resistances. You know, let's say you don't have cooldowns either. You've just fought somebody, and somebody happens to find you because of the UAV buff. It's very difficult to do anything, you know, and it is what it is. But yeah, We will see. Perhaps they tone it down, perhaps not. Perhaps they do some other changes. Regardless, I am excited to see what comes next, as Naraka really does do a good job in general. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, let's move on to Game 6. And here we have it, Game 6. Looks as though he might be opting to go for the Celestial spawn that he's been favoring so far in this 6-game series, but I don't know. He changes over. He changes over to a spawn just outside of Wreckage. Final game of this this series for that day. Looking to get as many kills as possible, looking to go a little bit more aggressive early on. I think that's probably, like, it suits his playstyle more. I think him going for a more aggressive drop early on suits him as a player. Because he does tend to make more aggressive plays, has more of an aggressive mentality, and makes decisions accordingly. So I think that's probably what he... Well, I remember watching this when it was live. This game, he pops up. No spoilers. I mean, a lot of you probably already seen it, but still. The aggressive playstyle definitely suits him. Yeah, so he spawns in here, grabs himself blue armor, blue weapons, and heads on over here, trying third party this fight, getting himself a cheeky pickup onto this Justina who was fighting somebody else, and then picks up another kill as well, tracking him on the roof, getting the parry off, getting big damage. These three players popping the ult early, trying to finish him off as fast as possible, and just takes him down. Popping your ultimate early on Taka in Immortal War is actually, it's better than in normal ranked, because in Immortal War you get a Soul Bloom that gives you double the rage, double the healing, so you do end up being able to recharge that ultimate much faster. But yeah, 3 quick kills off the rip. Gets one with a third party. Try hard trying to scale rush after the person that he'd actually gotten very low. Gets caught on it. Then the person who was initially low comes in, tries to get aggressive, having only healed 500 shield, and only has about 100 or 200 health, netting in around 700 total. Comes in, releases a blue focus that Roy had tracked and seen him on the roof, and parries perfectly to instantly get one shot, and then a random Yoto appearing with only white armor as well, probably no ultimate, and then just gets picked up no problem by Roy, getting himself 3 quick kills. Finds himself a bounty. I mean, Roy's feeling himself right now. He's got 3 kills early, he's got ult, he's got purple katana, purple bow. He is feeling himself, he's feeling aggressive. You can see it in his movement. And it's exactly what he needs to be doing right now. Lovely bow shot. It's his final game of the day. He has gotten quite a few points for himself. Not as many as you would potentially want, I guess, but still pretty strong, pretty decent performance. Just the R&B CLMB, interestingly enough, Dubai gets what seems like rubber banded, but goes for the overhold. Oh, lovely, so nicely done. So right here, this is kind of BS. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of BS. But it is what it is, you know. Catches him with the R&B, goes into CLMB, I think because he was falling off the wall, it was true. Gets the second afterwards. Flanks. Chases. Goes for an LMB into hold dodge, LMB hold. I'm not sure if this target tried to hold dodge or if he tried to tap dodge, but you see him start up a dodge and gets caught in it. Eats the blue focus because it's a purple katana, does just an absurd amount of damage. Does the follow-up attack as well. Knows that this player is in a he's in a bad spot. He's panicking. He knows that the enemy player is right there, so he wants to finish him off as fast as possible, and he knows that he has his ultimate available if he does happen to get parried. So he feels more comfortable to release this, which quite frankly he should be. He's in a good position to release this secondary follow-up, and it pays off. He gets the kill, no problem. He does get pride's falled by this Justina, but manages to get over here. So he gets the overhold on, punishes the parry whiff. And the reason why this is kind of BS is because he ults, and then because of this small lip here, the Justina doesn't get fully knocked back by the Tarka's ultimate activation. Because when you ult on Tarka, you knock your the surrounding enemies away from you. But because the terrain prevented that, it means that the Justina was still in point blank range and instantly gets light attacked, instantly gets LMB'd into uppercut. Although the roof blocked it, and he actually did with his input, unless he did it on purpose. I mean, realistically, whatever. But he gets the RMB into CLMB to catch him on the knockdown state. Very nicely done. Oh, I'd be mad if that was Justina. If I was APF, I'd be upset, because that is really, really, really unlucky. Getting caught against terrain, making it so that the ult activation from Tarka into LMB is true into infinite, is just oof. That is an oof and a half. But it is what it is. So he does catch it, does get the kill, and right now he's sitting on 5 kills. Very, very good show from him so far. But yeah, and the reason why the Justina couldn't break out is, I'm assuming, because he had F1, the F ability that heals himself. Gets another overhold. Forced to pop his ultimate. Mitigate more damage being done to him. And cancels during the grapple. No? Okay. You can cancel your Tarka ultimate during grapples now. You used to not be able to. If you did it before, it would actually stop your grapple in its tracks, and then you just sort of fall to the ground and have to re-grapple again. But then they ended up changing it so that you could in fact do it. But yeah, quick tip there. Yeah, so Roy chilling. Ooh, good good F there. One of the main benefits of Tarka F1, I would say, is that if you can like use it to prevent a gamble from having to take a gamble. Phantom Step saves him there, I think. Or depending on how you look at it, actually screws him over a tad there, because of the fact that he could have actually gotten that parry. Gets another. Tenoshi being a little bit ambitious with his releases here. I mean, you could say that Tenoshi released because Roy had tried to parry him so many times over and over again, and he'd not been released into, and then thought, okay, surely he's not going to expect me to release it into him again. So he's probably not going to parry, but he does, and it pays off. But yeah, even then, he probably would have had his ultimate up if he had been hit by that because of the damage taken, converting to rage, but still. It's, yeah. Good decision making from Roy. You can kind of sense that the players that he's fighting, or that everyone in the game is is a little bit on edge, you know. And this is kind of where Roy seems to shine, playing turbo aggressive, releasing blue focuses left and right, going for these first stage parries. Definitely where he shines, going for this turbo aggressive playstyle, taking lots of risks. That combined with his clearly good macro knowledge, because his rotations have been good. Like one thing that I have to say about Roy, although he does make mistakes and he does get a bit over aggressive, is that his rotations are very good. He does rotate the map very effectively, and it does look, it feels like he has a plan, you know. Not sure if he did that on purpose, and grapple away into instant cancel, expecting the person close by to have heard the grapple and then come out of hiding. Oh, this is sad. Quite frankly, this is sad. Spider getting caught on terrain here with no ultimate. Clearly gets the blue focus. Go input buffers the dodge into soul break, which is a bit, I mean, it's risky, you know. When you input buffer things, you're predicting something, and I think it's probably a mistake on Spider's part, predicting that. Like, essentially what he's thinking right now, Spider, is that he's dodging out and then immediately going for a soul break. And either he's not thinking at all, or he thinks that Roy doesn't have ult. Or he thinks that Roy's not going to use his ult for this, which, quite frankly, why wouldn't you? Because if it's a dagger, you're going to secure that amount of damage, then a soul break, and then I think it's RMB jump RMB, that's true, on this ping, afterwards, which is pretty much all of his shield. So either Spider wasn't thinking, or he didn't think he had ult. Because he puts himself in a bad spot because he's right underneath him, and he doesn't have ult himself. I remember watching this. Spider didn't have ult, and obviously we can tell because he gets infinited and doesn't break out with the ultimate. But still, this is a big risk from Spider, and Roy manages to capitalize on it. Gets caught on terrain, instant punch. Also had used Stam, going for the dodge into soul break into dodge. And then it's just over. Spider either not thinking or making a very risky assumption. He doesn't pick up the greatsword? Oh, come on, my boy. Why not? Why would you not pick this up? Roy sitting on 10k here, opting to go shopping. Or does he? Like, oh no, he opens this first. Smart. The number of times I've gone shopping, bought my my bag slots, and then opened a green trove close by and gotten the bag slots that I just bought. But yeah, as you can see, he gambles the jades, going for the lucky soul jade bags. Didn't get something that he wanted, I don't think. I saw him pick anything up, but definitely what you want to be going for. Going for this overhaul. Enemy Taka, not expecting him to release. Damn. And Dao 1 Hui getting taken down here. One of the big disadvantages of taking Fireball on Taka is that in Taka versus Taka, you are at a... I mean, unless played perfectly, you are at a disadvantage throughout the fight. Because the F1 allows you to... it's basically another avenue of starting up the infinite. It's another way of starting up this combo, which basically means death once the other Taka is also altered. So it's always an advantage. It's a defensive ability, whereas the Fireball is entirely offensive. Although, I mean, I guess you could say it does have defensive properties in that you can throw it at people who are grappling towards you, making them either cancel or get hit by it. You can double jump into Fireball into double jump again, allowing you to create space for yourself. But still, realistically, it is an aggressive ability, whereas the F1 is extremely offensive. F1 is extremely defensive, sorry. But yeah, no, I'm still surprised that he didn't pick up the Greatsword. Greatsword Taka is extremely strong. In certain situations, you know, it does a lot for you. Taka being a character that, if caught on a dodge or something like that, can just die. Can get light attack staggered to death, because the only combo breaker that Takas have is on the ultimate. So once you've used it, you have to make sure that if you don't make mistakes. Because the F1's not a combo breaker. A soft combo breaker, but it's not full hard combo break. So you can get caught and die very easily if you're not careful. So yeah, the Greatsword having very good defensive properties, allowing you to block attacks, block light attacks, block blue focuses at the cost of a small amount of chip damage, mitigates some of the risks, because in Taka ult, your dodges don't have the same iframes, invulnerability frames, that you would normally have whilst not in ultimate. So, and also, not only that, if you use up all your stamina in Taka roll, you can always hold blue focus and stuff, but being able to swap to the Greatsword, block the attack, and also potentially forcing your opponent who's attacking you into taking a risk by parrying or trying to tap dodge and that sort of thing, allowing you some potential breathing room, or an avenue of engagement with the early cancel of stone form. Into tech chase. So right here, I remember watching this. Roy, he tries to use his phantom step to avoid the Viper ult, but somehow gets caught by it, even though I'm pretty sure he's in stealth. Let's take another look at that. Wait a second. So he gets the blue focus here, sees the Viper is in F animation very early on, and manages to time the blue focus release to catch her. Since the Viper had used a slide jump F, a really good way of starting up your F and getting your F onto somebody, because it extends the range, but because of the longer animation, it allows people to time blue focus releases onto the Viper, meaning that it is punishable if you see it coming. So he gets the blue focus. Misclicks on his parry here, but it doesn't really matter. Then he tries to time this. Let's see it. 1, 2. So the reason being, the reason why this happens is because the second one he does is a roll, and because the roll technically is much shorter than an actual tap dodge, he's unstealth for literally a frame, quite literally 1 frame, and gets stunned. It's really unlucky. But yeah, as you see here, going forwards here, Viper, crikey, my dude, he was very, 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 very wrong to do this. He ran forwards into the Taka, having just gotten unstunned, which then means that he gets knocked back again. If he'd simply swapped to his range weapon, or dodged backwards, swapped to his range weapon and shot RoyHiHi, because when you ult as Taka, you're stationary, he literally would have killed him. So, I mean, panic, nerves, not thinking, whatever it may be, it's definitely not the play. And then the Viper tries to, well, releases a blue focus in the hopes of catching the Taka whilst in the air, but doesn't time it correctly, and then just gets punched into infinite bread and butter. Yeah, now he's got the UAV buff, and now he's going hunting. My guy is sitting on 9 kills. So what we were talking about earlier, you know, Roy playing to his strengths of playing extremely aggressively, especially in a game where people are likely to panic slightly more, or be a little bit more nervous, considering that it's the final game of the day, trying to get as many points as they can, also playing aggressive, that sort of thing, in their own heads. This is the time where Roy shines, you know. Sheesh. 9 kills. Although I'm not gonna lie, the first 3 kills that he got at the very beginning was rather lucky. For him to have come in and ran into 2 people fighting, both of which had only had white armor to begin with. The first in the process of chasing somebody else, and then catching him with a 1-2-3 whilst he was in the air, meaning that he couldn't do anything about it, dies, and the second one just getting a bit over aggressive with no health, releasing a blue focus that he was easily trackable. But still, he still played this pretty damn well. But yeah, right here, I mean, there wasn't too much to be said about this one, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see it again. Chasing this guy after having forced out his ult, knows he's at a big advantage, grapples over to him. There's also a Viper here, catches him out the air, gets the 1-2-3 confirmed because he's in the air, gets the 1-2 follow-up. A silence onto the Taka, preventing him from being able to press F. Gets caught. Neither of them parry. I'm pretty sure the Viper was stuck in F animation. And then that's it. He manages to time the Phantom Step to avoid the stun, and there you go. "11 kills on the board." Finally does get parried on one of his first stage charges. He does get the F off. I'm not sure. So right here, I think he panicked, which is perfectly normal. You're sitting on 11 kills, and you're trying to win the game. There's only a few people left. You don't know where the other person is. You panic. You know, it's completely normal. We're all human. It is what it is. Because right here, after his F, he could have literally just uppercutted. And I'm pretty sure, I think he may have tried to. You know, I think he actually may have tried to, but he misinputted his crouch, so that it ended up just coming out as a R&B hold. I think he misinputted his crouch. I think he was actually planning on going into an uppercut, but he misinputted, and he got a blue focus hold, and then at that... Wait, no. He went for LMB. Okay, well then perhaps not. Maybe he did just not think about it. My bad. But yeah, he goes for an LMB. Hold. Blue focus release, since it's true after F1. But if he'd immediately gone into an uppercut, he would have actually killed the person. He would have infinited him, and he'd be dead, because he'd already popped his ult, he had no combo breaker, it was over. Unless he cancels his ult while staggered and then goes into the F. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to really say. We don't actually know if that person has F1 or F2, but still, probably better off to go for the infinite, making it so that the person actually has to cancel their ultimate and you're still in yours. But it is what it is, you know. He gets the blue focus off. But I say that if he'd immediately gone into the uppercut, because I'm pretty sure that after F1 punch, if you go for LMB into CRMB on very low ping, which I'm pretty sure this Justina has, you can in fact use your ultimate dash after the LMB before the uppercut launches you. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the case. I can't be sure though. Potentially not. I'm not a Katana Taka player. I'm a Great Sword Taka player. And when it comes to low ping interactions, I definitely don't know. But still, it is what it is. He gets caught, and then the third party comes in from Yaran, coming in, taking the kill. Yaran then getting the other kill onto Jin as well. But yeah, still 11 kills. My guy getting 11 kills. Third place. I mean, what? I don't understand. How is this guy not jumping for joy? How is he emotionless? This man just got 11 kills, third place. And he's not even showing a smidge of emotion. But hey, I think he's getting asked to go for an interview. Yeah, most likely. But yeah, and that's about it. Game 6. That was his, not sure exactly which day that was, but still, an insanely good showing. But yeah, guys. Anyway, that's all 6 games of RoyHiHi. An insanely strong player. Who seems to excel mainly when playing to his strengths, playing to his aggressive strengths. Definitely makes some mistakes here and there, but so does everyone. We're all human, aren't we? But yeah. Yeah, VNGC's RoyHiHi. Very well done. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, potentially. But yeah, make sure to, if you happen to be watching this relatively soon, make sure to catch the games, the solo games and the trio games, the finals for Worlds. This weekend, they're currently going on. But yeah, I hope you all have a great day, or a great night, wherever you are. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all next time.